Hello everyone. Yes, Star Citizen isn't exactly in a very good spot at the moment, but at least CIG can do ships, right? Right? Yeah. This happened to me twice on the PTU when I wanted to get into the command module of my Ironclad. Yes, when Ironclad was in concept, I melted useless ships and bought Ironclad with store credits. Well, this happened to me twice. I couldn't even get into the command module, so I just quit the game this day. And please don't write comments about your shaders were still optimizing. This has nothing to do with shaders. Star Citizen is still clip galore, even now in year 14. We are clipping in and out of ships. We are clipping through moons and planets as long as we have CPU. Well, this isn't exactly the only bug with Ironclad at the moment. I wasn't sure if I should make another video showing how terrible Chris and CIG are at game development, but I thought let's not get Chris and CIG away with this total disaster of a game development. I've never seen a game after more than 13 years and more than $1 billion in funding in such a sorry state. I don't even believe anymore Chris wants to make Star Citizen. Chris and Aaron earned a lot of money with Star Citizen. So here we go, Pure Tactical, Ironclad bugs and workaround compilation. This is not new, this is from May the 14th. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't sure if I should make another not so positive video. On the other hand, what we have in year 14 is a stinker of a tech demo. Link to this is in my first pinned comment below. On the main elevator screen it's all blanks. Edit, it's because of Mr. Kraken's star strings. Ship jumps to SCM mode non-stop. Workaround is just press enter and keep the chat box waiting. I think this bug is mostly because Ironclad is kinda two ships, command module and a hull, and this confuses CIG's fantastic code. Yeah, CIG has server shards, I don't know with how many servers, 10, 11, something like this. And when you're crossing boundaries between those servers, server meshing gets confused and drops your Ironclad out of Quantum.
Server meshing has been working pretty much flawlessly at scale for the past 9 months.
When docked, command module illumination on exterior, especially on the turrets, sucks. Well, I'm saying this for many years by now. Most ships in Star Citizen are way too dark inside. Why can't we adjust light levels? Why is this so hard for CIG? When docked, third-person view still shows command module on the center, so you can't see anything. Fix the camera view, hold F4 and use the arrow keys to adjust the view, or detach and retach the command module. Yeah, but if you change the camera view and then you spawn a different ship, you have to change camera view again. This happens because the camera is centered on the command module, not the Ironclad. Why did no one at CIG notice this? Why did no one at CIG test this? Oh yes, in 2024, Chris laid off most of the QA staff. As soon as you get into the pilot seat in command module when docked, command module lights start blinking red. Only workaround is getting up, turning lights off from command module door buttons. Not a single light switch works on the Ironclad itself. Again, did anyone at CIG even quickly test this? Answer is obviously no, because Chris knows you will buy ships anyway. On Ironclad, doors lock for no reason and only way to unlock them is through engineering terminal. Nice! Even tough Ironclad is equipped with Karma Quantum Drive, which has a 382 gigameters range. You can't even jump to 90 gigameters. Only workaround I found is changing the stock Quantum Drive. Another fix is you need to use turret seat 01 in operations to refuel your Ironclad for some reason. By the way, if you change the fold loadout, you have to insure your ships we lose most of the time because of bugs. From all the replies and posts, as my understanding, command module actually never fully takes over Ironclad. You still route according to command module range, not Ironclad range. If you jump between server boundaries, it all gets desynced.
Server meshing has been working pretty much flawlessly at scale for the past 9 months.
If some miracle, you can jump through it, command module itself, and Ironclad do things, so when you get to your destination, it's possible that you are way off from it. Nearly 90% of Ironclad problems are actually sprout from command module, just pretends to take over, but never takes over fully. Redocking shows this like 20% of them, but this goes much deeper than a simple reset. I would like to add that undocking and redocking isn't exactly very convenient. I admit it's a funny name, but it's still Ironclad, oversight from PTU, I assume. Added, it's because of Mr. Kraken's star strings. If you store an Ironclad with a ship landed inside and retrieve it, you then also can't take off. Reported on replies, can't reproduce. Landing gear is spawning slightly under the hangar and is basically getting stuck, restoring and retrieving or forcing a strange angle to be able to basically pull the Ironclad gear free. You need to be with helmet inside the Ironclad or you suffocate, and in some parts you need to be without helmet or you suffocate. Reported on replies. Yeah, we still don't have an atmospheric room system. CRG divides ships into rooms and CRG assigns atmosphere and gravity to each room. If a door to another room is open, or if a door to space is open, it still has very little effect on the atmosphere in neighboring rooms, even if doors are open. I tested this many times since we got engineering. We have this bug that certain rooms in a ship have no atmosphere for as long as I can remember. Even if a room is part of a larger room, no doors, no walls between those rooms, and you can still suffocate. But I don't remember that we ever died when we had a helmet on, so this is something new. How about you give us the atmospheric room system you promised us, Chris, 10 years ago?
Hi, my name is Chad McKinney, and I'm a gameplay programmer here in the Los Angeles studio. I'm going to be talking about interaction linking and the room system. So this level demonstrates the room system and atmosphere containers. The room system and atmosphere containers are used to create boundaries for our space stations and ships.
Tractor beams also randomly stop functioning despite power allocation in operator seat used. Reported on replies. MFD pips, even after adjusting them manually, can randomly turn off and change pips between quantum jumps and switching SCM, NAV, SCM, etc. Reported on replies, but I have it as well. Pressing any light switch on the Ironclad turns off all the lights on the ship, and it cannot be opened until you reclaim the ship.
Right now, for example, over 90% of all claims in the verse are for ships that have not been destroyed.
Once again, it's pretty much evident that CRG employees, Richard Tyra, are not playing their own game. Why do we have so many claims of ships that are not destroyed? Let me think. Maybe because this game in alpha still has lots of bugs, lots of very game-breaking bugs. In addition, there's no way to move ships. For example, I want to do some testing around Tesla. I would have to fly each ship one by one from my home location to Tesla. But Richard Tyra is blaming the players. Putting Ursa on a repair bay and turning on aux lights on it solves the issues, God knows why. Radar does not give return pings, unknown and signature. If you disconnect specific fuses, you can't put them back, so don't take them. Reported on replies. Looks like a very nice way to grief players. You can't travel through jump gates, you get kicked out as soon as you enter. Workaround is disable uninstall the command module Quantum Drive. Yeah, another thing about crossing borders in CRG's server meshing.
Server meshing has been working pretty much flawlessly at scale for the past 9 months.
Audio from tractor beams and boosting gets stuck. Boosting again fixed it, but tractor beam sounds can't be fixed without recalling the entire ship. Reported on replies. Yeah, Star Citizen in year 14 still has many audio bugs. Ironclad is by far not the only ship that has such bugs. Detached the command module and couldn't target the Ironclad, so no docking is possible. I guess this doesn't happen all the time, but so much for the workaround. Undock and redock your command module. Yeah, have fun with this. The weapon racks are broken. The roof access and vehicle bay only accept max lift but no guns, while the others only accept guns but no max lift. The owner's rotating gun rack also doesn't accept the max lift and long guns. Is CRG so terrible at coding that they are writing code for each weapon rack in each ship on its own? Why not have standard weapon racks, let's say small, medium, large, and use one code in all chips. Well, this would require some structure, some good coding practice, something CRT never had. Command module randomly disconnects while flying. 10 out of 10, Chris. Decals flying around in owner's room. And he lists all the RC reports. Thank you very much for this. Here's another Spectrum posting from CR Tactical, a ship that costs $600 to $650 plus tax, and the state that it's in Ironclad. Here's a picture. I'm so happy that we have people like CR Tactical who are giving us this information. Something CRG should do. I guess paying $600 to $650 for a ship plus tax is just pocket change for Chris, so he does not care. It has been hyped for a year, used in every 4.8 promo video, and this is what we are given. As much as I don't want to play the blame game, I can't comprehend the mindset of releasing a chip in this state. Well, the mindset is people will throw money at Chris anyway. Did no one quantum jumped with it, fought with it, or maybe just moved one SU cargo before releasing? Designers made a beautiful job on the chip itself. It is a screaming trick. It is functional and it is what was promised and more from concept, but that command module, don't get me started on that. Every aspect of it is broken. Everything it tries to do, it just pretends but never does it really. My main concern is, since a lot of us already paid for it, and since it is the most broken chip I've ever seen, CRG will just do the minimum to make it somewhat flyable and leave us with the frustration that command module brings. We have a lot of examples of that. Dear owners, I already made a post with all the known bugs and workarounds and linked to the appropriate issue council tickets on the post below. Please take 2 minutes of your time and contribute if you want the ship get fixed. I just don't know what to say anymore. Here we have a game project in year 14 with more than $1 billion in funding. Don't just look at the funding tracker on CRG's website. CRG also has private investors, for example the Caldas, who gave Chris more than $80 million. And this game studio and his CEO, Chris Roberts, are treating you like shit. It is so bad, by now, not even CRG's ship team can do a decent job anymore. Yes, a lot of new ships had some bugs, that's normal, but Ironclad is something else. This thing is pretty much unusable. Did CRG lose a lot of ship designers? Did CRG lose a lot of coders? Does Chris even care anymore? I guess he doesn't, because money still comes in big time. As long as people are buying ships like crazy, nothing will ever improve. Chris thinks he does everything perfectly alright. Please stop throwing money into this fire. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen.
You asking me to speak frankly, sir?
Yes. Well,
Well, sir, it's just that you're incompetent, sir. I love layup.
Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter or on Blue Sky.